Hey guys, so I have another makeup declutter for you, and this will probably take the place of day 20 of my Minimalist Game challenge that I will be doing in January, I believe. So anyway, this is probably going to be more than 20 items, but I just assigned it to that day because I will be sending these items to Glambot, and that is the number of items that they require that you send them. So it's probably going to be more, but I just arbitrarily assign it to that day. So I have some items laid out here, partly just for the thumbnail, but I thought I would go ahead and tackle these while they're here. So the first item here is the Naked palette by Urban Decay. And this is the old one I purchased back in 2011, I believe, whenever it came out. So it's quite old. And I did recently repurchase it as part of the Sephora Customer Appreciation Sale. And spoiler alert, if you didn't watch that video, I also purchased one for my upcoming giveaway. So be on the lookout for that if you are interested in this palette. So I decided to get myself a fresh one since they are discontinuing it, but I don't think this one is necessarily bad. So I'm sending that one. I also have the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and this is the original one, the original packaging, and as you can see, it's the thicker size and it doesn't have any names on it. So I'm sending it to them. I haven't really been using it that regularly, and I guess if I do regret decluttering it later on, I could pick it up in the newer packaging. I didn't repurchase it when it was, I think, half off during the Ulta sale, so again, it's not a palette that I really reach for, so I can let that one go. I also have a Sleek palette here. This one is the Au Naturel, and that is what that looks like. Haven't really reached for this one a whole lot, so I can send that one. And let's see here. The Stila in the Light palette. It's a good palette, but it's been discontinued, so I have, I think, Kitten and some of these other shades in other palettes, so I don't really need to hold on to this one. And partly due to the number of palettes I purchase, I've kind of made the decision not to hang on to a lot of discontinued palettes because I can't, I guess, reference them in videos or anything without people getting upset. So I will be getting rid of that one. And similarly, this is a Lorac palette. This was called the Glow Getter eyeshadow palette. And I want to say I got this one from like Hotlook or something, and I held on to it partly just because it has all these really bright shades, and I thought, well, if I ever want to do a really bright summery look, I might want this, but in reality, I just don't reach for it, so I can get rid of that one. And this is the Kathleen Lights highlighter palette, part of her collaboration with Makeup Geek. And I haven't really touched this one. I still have the sleeve, as you can see, and it still has the, what do you call it, the plastic overlay, and I don't know if I even swatched this one. So hopefully I can get some decent value for this one, but I don't know. It's part of my, I should stop buying items that are collaborations with YouTuber kind of rule, because inevitably something comes out or they say something and I'm just kind of turned off. So haven't really used this one. I think the shades were a little dark for me to begin with, so getting rid of that one. I also have this Marc Jacobs palette. This came in this kind of little fabric sleeve here. So this is the Lolita palette, and I haven't used this one a ton. The name is a little problematic, and they have discontinued, I think, this entire line of palettes. So again, if it's discontinued, there's not a huge reason for me to hang on to it if I'm not using it. So I have some other products here. I have this Tarte brush. This is the Swirl Power Cheek Brush. And it's in the box still, but I think I have actually used it and then I put it back in the box. So the thing that I really didn't like about this brush was the bamboo handle, and I always felt like I had to be really careful about how I washed it because bamboo can split if you get it wet. So it's not a brush I really reach for, and due to the possible cleaning issues, I will be getting rid of this one. I think I got this as one of the items in a kit that Tarte did. Like you could choose, I think 6 or 7 different items for a flat price, but I don't really use it. So one thing I did want to mention, I got this and I wanted to compare it to some other kind of similarly shaped brushes. This one isn't super similar, but it's a little bit. So this is the Morphe G30, and again, haven't really been using it. I thought I would use it for maybe like cream contour and that sort of thing, but I'm just kind of off Morphe at the moment. So anyway, we'll be getting rid of this one. While on the topic of Morphe, I will also be getting rid of the G2 brush. I think I picked this up on the recommendation of Nicole from Young, Wild, and Polished. And there's nothing wrong with the brush per se, or Nicole. I don't have anything against her, but I just haven't really been using it, so I'm just going to say goodbye to it. And I also have this 35W palette. I think I got rid of the other kind of classic Morphe palette that I had in a previous declutter. I just really haven't been reaching for this. I'm still holding on to the Jaclyn Hill palette for the time being, but don't see a need to hold on to this one. And I also have the Naked Basics palette. I use this one a ton, but I'm kind of over it, so I can pass that one along. And I have 2 NARS, I think they're either highlighters or blushes. This is Albatross. This was in their older formula, and since they've come out with a new highlighter formula, I haven't really been using it anyway, so I'm just going to send that. And then this is in the shade Reckless. So this is a light pink with a ton of like silver glitter in it, and I just really don't enjoy glitter in my products, so I will be sending that as well. Alright, so I have 2 MAC lipsticks here that I just don't see myself wearing anytime soon. This is in the shade Hot Chocolate. It is a satin, so it's just a lot more brown tone than I tend to go for. And then this one is Creme de la Femme, and it is a frost. And again, the frosty shade is just not something that I'm really interested in. I have 2 ColourPop lippy sticks in the shades Heart On, which is a matte, and Juicy, which is a hyper glossy. And again, I just don't really reach for these, and I'm trying to kind of keep my collection in the current storage drawers that I have without expanding, so need to get rid of the old to make room for the new. This is a Makeup Geek brush. This is the cheek highlighter brush, and again, it's just not a brush that I really use. It's a little kind of stippling brush. I have this from Lipstick Queen. It's the Metropolis Lipstick Library, and there are 3 lipsticks in there that I haven't really been using. So this is pretty much brand new in the box. This is the Stila Spirit palette, and I haven't really reached for this one. I don't really love this packaging. Those are the shades there, and I think they still have these palettes, but they're in different packaging, so don't really need to hang on to this one. I haven't been using it. Oh boy. I also have the Manny MUA palette with Makeup Geek, and this is something, again, I don't think I've ever used, and with all the drama with Makeup Geek and Manny and just in general, looks like I might have swatched it. I'm not sure, but in general, I don't know. I don't reach for it, so I don't need it in my collection. Alright, speaking of problematic YouTubers, I have the Jeffree Star Peach Goddess Skin Frost, and this is another item that I don't think I've really used. As you can see, I don't know. I still have Jeffree Star items in my collection, so I'm not like completely decluttering everything, but I haven't been using that, so I don't see a need to hang on to it. Some Ofra products here. I have this Eye Palette Mini, which I think I got from like Hotelip or something. And I actually have a shadow from Stila in here. This is 14 karat. It's just a really kind of gold shade that I'm not really drawn to. And I don't really love this style of packaging. As you may know, Over has recently rebranded, so again, this is kind of outdated. And I have two additional products here. This is the highlighter in Beverly Hills, which is all those shades kind of put together. I did purchase a couple of their highlighters in the newer packaging when Ulta was doing their, I think, 21 Days of Beauty, so I don't need that. And this is also a highlighter. This is the You Do You by Dupe That, and it's just a little pan that you could put into a different palette if you wanted to. So just a couple more full-size products here before we get into some samples. So I have the Dior Lip Glow Color Reviver Balm. I use this a fair bit, but there's still, I think, a good amount of product there. Glambot has, I think, restrictions on how much product has to be remaining before you can send it to them, but I'm just kind of over this. It's not a shade of pink that I really like wearing anymore, and I thought one of the ingredients, I found out that this has, I think, sunscreen ingredients in it, and I try to avoid chemical sunscreen, so that is why I'm passing that one on. And this is the Smashbox Step-by-Step Contour Stick in the Highlight shade. And again, this is just not really a product that I reach for. So lots of product left, but I just don't use it. Okay, so I think that's it for the full size. And it looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, or more, depending on how you count that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, yeah, well over 20 here. Alright, so some samples. They do accept some samples to help round up the offer that they give you. And I think I've mentioned this before. I know that Glambot isn't the, I guess, most cost-effective way of decluttering your makeup. You're not going to get as big a return as you would with some other methods, but for me, it's just quick and easy, and it kind of gets it out of my house. So have some Dermalogica samples. I think they do accept skincare samples, but not full-size skincare products. So anyway, getting rid of that. I have some Too Faced Hangover RX samples here. Some more skincare sample, Shiseido. This is Julep, more Shiseido, more Shiseido. These are makeup remover wipes from Kat Von D. Cover FX Blurring Primer, Chanel. This might be a hair sample. I'm not sure if they accept hair samples or not. I don't think they accept hair full-size products, but I don't know. I might have to put that one elsewhere. Kiehl's, a couple Gimme Brows, and lots more here. Olay, DDF, Botanics, Fido, Juice Beauty, let's see, PCA Skin, Nivea, Ole Henriksen, Clinique, more Clinique, Purity, Philosophy, and finally there is a kind of deluxe sample of the Urban K All-Nighter Spray. And I did want to mention that I am sending this to them because I already have a sample of this in my giveaway, so you don't have to feel like you're missing out on this sample. Alright, couple more here. I have Smashbox Photo Finish, which again I'm including in the giveaway of a different sample. This is the Mary Luminizer. This one I might have swatched, so I'm just going to send it to them. I think I have another sample of that. And then finally a Sephora Rouge Cream, which again I have another sample of in my giveaway coming up soon. And just kind of classic red lipstick. I am including the perfume samples, which you will see as day 29 of the Minimalism Game challenge. But the last thing I have here is a deluxe fragrance. This was probably like a 100-point perk that I got before Kat Von D kind of went off the rails or whatever, but it's a deluxe little perfume spray. So this is in the scent Saint. So I think I mentioned this last time, but it still holds true. Decluttering items from quote-unquote problematic YouTubers, if I've already spent the money on the product, it doesn't really affect that person at all. Like, they already have the money, I've already bought the product, but For me, it's just a matter of what in my collection brings me joy, what do I want to reach for, and what do I want to use. If the items aren't doing that for me anymore, then there's no point in hanging on to them. So that is why I'm getting rid of various products here that I just showed you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this declutter. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.